Military spokesman Avichai Adre urged people to leave parts of Gaza City's Sheikh Radwan neighborhood.
Several children and adults were hospitalized in Pennsylvania on Friday night after being poisoned by mushrooms, according to authorities.
Emergency medical teams responded around 9:30 p.m.
Boeing announced it is reducing its workforce by 10%, which translates to around 17,000 employees.
In a memo, CEO Kelly Ortberg revealed the layoffs, stating that the aerospace company is facing difficult choices to remain competitive.
A NASA spacecraft is prepared to begin its journey to Jupiter and its moon Europa, one of the leading candidates for potential extraterrestrial life.
The Europa Clipper mission will investigate beneath Europa's icy surface.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please? Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know. I wish. I really wish. Something has gone wrong with the furniture. I think animals were in here breaking the place apart while I was having a terrible weekend. Am I ranting? Is this a rant? Official rant? I don't think so. Oh, what's going on with this dopey? Oh, good morning. Good Monday morning. It is Monday, August. Yeah, I wish August. October 14th, 2024. It is Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day, depending on what side of the political spectrum you're on, I guess, or something about that. Some here's the thing. Used to be when they started talking about Columbus Day, the Italian Americans in New York City would get all flustered because he's a hero. No, you know what? Italy didn't even want him. They sent them away. Spain sent them. But the Italian American League would get, because, there's not a lot of, I don't know if you've noticed, not a lot of great Italian Americans, people to put on a pedestal if you're an Italian. So the Italian American Civic Association, basically, Joe Colombo. I'm shot. I need a long vacation. Joe Colombo, who was a mobster. He was one of the guys who actually he ran I don't know, one of the families in New York for a short period of time before he got shot in the head. But he was one of the guys who organized rallies to protest them taking Columbus Day away from the Italian Americans. But now all white people are just upset about it. Why should we give indigenous, why should we give them a day? They didn't discover anything. They were already here. They needed to be discovered. They're kind of like Willie, walking around waiting to be discovered. And then a great Italian guy came over with some. If you saw the banner we had on the show before we came on, he was bringing a basket of fruit and like a nice guy, right? That's basically what the banner says. He just showed up and like, oh, I've discovered you. Now you have an apple. Like they didn't know apples existed or something. Me, and now my wife said somebody in one of her groups on Facebook or something said it should be Leif Erikson Day. Like he discovered America. I think he discovered Greenland, to be more accurate. But the Vikings were supposedly, but according to some historians, the Chinese were in California long before even the Vikings crossed the Atlantic. So who knows? I don't know, and I don't care. You discovered this piece of crap land that I'm on, and I'm just waiting for an asteroid to hit. That's all I know. Now, I do want to say thank you to the guys in the dog pound because they did sub for me on Friday. I had a funeral to attend. It was a really crazy long weekend between anxiety, being in a really weird place mentally with a close friend passing, and just a strange time for me. And the change of seasons is never good for me because I am seasonally affected. Yeah, that's right. I am seasonally affected. Anyway, so we have no guests today. So or tomorrow because I've been slacking. So this is what you get. You get me just now. I just want to address something. G.D. Fenderson put out some misinformation, disinformation. Is there another way of saying he lied to you? He lied to you. He said this is the part of the show where I rant for 20 minutes. And I checked. I have never ranted for 20 minutes. The longest I've ever ranted for, and if this qualifies for a rant, this is just me trying to wake up. But 13 minutes is the record. A little bit, 13 minutes and like 6 seconds is the longest I've ever done one of these. According to the research by our well-established research firm. Anyway, so I just want to clear the record up. If this is a rant, I have not done it for 20 minutes. I'm going to probably do this one for 20 minutes. I'm just going to think, well, how could I prolong this and keep it going for 20 minutes? We are 8 minutes and 15 seconds into this dopey little attempt at acting like I have a show. And I could not talk for another 12 minutes on my own. Now, part of this is I run commercials and all that kind of stuff. So it might feel like 20 minutes. It always feels like 20 minutes, but it's not 20 minutes. So anyway, that said, it's time to get to a commercial about Clip Anything. I did watch church this yesterday morning. It feels like this morning. It feels all like one day. And I did put the church stuff into Opus Clip Anything, and it came up with some good clips. I have to find a way to download them all in one zip file and send them to the Rev so that he could use them for his purposes. But I did put up one that said welcome to the Church of Last Resort, and it's a little reel, and it did surprisingly well. So it surprised me. It did as good as the Paul McCartney reel that I put up 2 days ago. That's pretty surprising. Because when you see, church stuff, a lot of people are like, no, that ain't for me. Anyway, Clip Anything. Here you go. Opus. Get on it, please.
with attacks and slams.
Dreams do come true. I am showering on Netflix.
Muted myself. Why am I muting myself? I guess I don't know. If you're not excited by that, I don't know how we could get you excited for signing up with. Oh, that was pretty exciting, right? If you're a video editor and you're just like, wow, I want to find all the dunks. I want to find the shower on the airplane scene. I guess you're motivated, ladies and gentlemen.
You're goddamn right, Matt.
What was that? A voice? There's a voice. In the room with me right now are three great Italian Americans. First of all, Ron Cano, who discovered lingerie. Stephen Sitcom Ortiz, who discovered wheelchairs. And my best friend, my ex-best friend, by the way, I'm auditioning new best friends after Friday. Auditions will be taking place on Friday afternoon, this Friday afternoon, live. My former best friend of 37 years and now my worst enemy, Mr. G.D. Fenderson, who discovered a website that is down.
Good morning, America. DogTV.com. How can I honor the Native Americans, you may ask? And how can I right all of the indignities? You can't, but you can become an honorary indigenous person. How? You may ask. Send $49.95 to MindDogTV.com and you can be an honorary Uncle Chubby Native American.
Puspatuck, even.
Yes, Puspatuck, even. So, send us $49.95 and you can become a member of our tribe. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries.
Wow.
You know,
For the record,
yes.
For the record, I invented paralyzing people. That's what I discovered. Not wheelchairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Well, I sit corrected.
At least I can stand. That's the point.
Fucking show off.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
You know,
I'm not an up person. First of all, it's dreary here. It's cloudy and rainy and cold. It's Octoberish. Yesterday was a beautiful day. It was 75 and sunny. I got to because I was complaining then, and I did stop myself and saying, "What the fuck am I complaining about?" I'm playing music with some friends. I have no reason to really complain, but I was complaining on a 75-degree sunny day in mid-October. I'm just a curmudgeon, man. There's no saving me. There is no saving me. And here's the thing. This thing with losing Janine has sent me for a really bad place in my mind. And I'm thinking, because I did not get a chance to say I was sorry and thank you. And so I was thinking about that on the ride home. And I was thinking about a band that I used to know, friends of mine that were in a band, and they're all dead except for Nick. Nick had also played bass with the Rockin' 45s for a period of time. Mikey and Mike Barone fired him. And that always left a bad feeling with me because Nick was a good friend, somebody who was a guitar player who I looked up to when I was a kid because he was a really good guitar player and he was part of the band. He got fired and I haven't talked to him in a while. It was on my mind. So I'm driving home from the gig and I think I got to text Nick and tell him I love him and I appreciate him. Really gay text. And I just on my phone, I put in N in the contacts and Nick Bassman came up. And I was like, why don't I have him under his real name, Galati? So I just I started to send a text with a voicemail, and I said, "Listen, and I know this sounds gay, I just want to tell you I love you and appreciate you, blah blah blah." And came back. Who the fuck are you? Apparently, Nick Bassman is not Nick Galati. So I sent a really gay, "I miss you, appreciate you, love you" text to a stranger. I don't know who Nick Bassman is. Possibly a bass player named Nick that I said, yeah, let me keep your number in case I ever need a bass player. This one guy I met one time who got a text at midnight on Saturday from me saying how much I love him and appreciate him. So
That's my weekend.
Well, if
You
you
had a-
count to 24, you can be as gay as you want. If you want to blow dudes on the weekend, then crush pussy on a Monday, go ahead and do it. So if you want to eat your own ass, go ahead and do it. We can't kink shame you.
Oh, thank you for that. That was definitely a short.
I saw Matt going in for it. Man, I don't know if you notice this. You don't just press a beat. You have like a wind up, like a relief picture. You have a wind up, like a relief picture for the Mets. You go like,
right,
yeah.
Like a Bugs Bunny as a pitcher. Yeah. I was excited about that. I was like, oh, he's on a good one now. This is good. This is great. I gotta get this. I got a little excited, I admit.
You know, Matt, I also I did some shorts from yesterday's show for the Reverend, and one of them is 7 minutes long, and the other one is 5 minutes long.
Well, tomorrow, starting tomorrow on YouTube, it will accept shorts that are up to 3.5 minutes long, but they have to either be vertical or square. They can't be in this format, this 16:9. But so that's a good thing. They'll be expanding their shorts format. Kind of like Steven, he wears longer shorts now.
And when I'm in this room, sometimes my shorts expand. Listen, you know, I know how embarrassed you are about sending a gay text, and I feel you on that. And I have one that's I think as embarrassing. So when I first met my wife, right, like we're talking like a month in, I was at work and she was sending dirty pics, and I was gonna send one back, but I got busy, right? So I go home. Right? I take a shower and I end up sending a pic. Now, here's the thing. Before I met her, my coworker, who's also Puerto Rican, is a really cool guy. I saved him in my phone as my freaking Rican. Well, when I met her, I saved her in my phone as my other freaking Rican. Well, when I got home to send that pic, I decided I'd be funny and I took a picture of my dick and I put a top hat and a monocle on him. And then I sent it. But I didn't get a response from her. So that next morning, I go into work and my buddy walks up and goes, "Hey man, so what's this?" And I had sent my coworker of about 6 weeks a picture of my dick with a top hat and a monocle.
I think I seen that picture used in one of Ron Cano's reels that he puts out there.
I would not be surprised if it's on the internet, to be honest with you.
Well, it's definitely at one of his Monday night shows in Harrisburg because I had to riff on it. I call it the Mr. Penis, you know, from the can.
Mr.
Penis comedy show.
I like it. Yeah, you know what? I'll get over the embarrassment of a stranger getting a gay text from me. What the hell? And I don't know if you'll get over that dick pic, but that sounds like a premise for a porn movie, if you ask me.
It sounds to me like it was subconscious. It sounds to me like it was one of those Freudian dick slips.
Yeah. It could be. If you write out the script, he liked it, and then where did it go from there? Tune in, click the link to get the full movie or whatever. That's what I'm saying.
Was he his freaking Rican? You freaking right.
You're right. So very, Friday night, I'm in Long Beach, New York, and was it Friday? No, it's Saturday. Damn, I'm losing track of the days. And I'm doing a solo gig, and it's in a Mexican restaurant. I've never seen this before. Right, and I'm doing an acoustic gig, and I'm doing like kind of a mellow song, and all of a sudden, in the back of the room, I'm hearing drums. Like, what was that? A drum? And then more drums, and it's like, are they trying to play me off? What's going on here? Like, get off the stage! You're boring people, whatever. And then that's going on for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, should I just cut my set? I don't know what's going on. They're preparing to come out and do a Mexican happy birthday. It doesn't sound like happy birthday at all, but some kind of like they just surround them, banging drums, everybody out of rhythm and screaming stuff in Spanish that is not a melody. And then this is in the middle of my set. It's like, I'm like, what do I do? Just stand here and
they came out and they were like, taco, burrito, arriba. And then
that was far more musical and
Oh no, really? That's terrible.
That was far more musical and racist than the other one.
Yeah. It made me feel like there was a gang war about to start and I should run away. That's what it sounded like. And they were just beating
That's
drums out of
racist.
rhythm. Well, no, if you would have heard it, you would have. I'm sure you would agree. You don't have to be a racist. It doesn't hurt to be racist, but you don't have to be racist to come away with that
Hold on, I
idea
gotta mark that.
what the fuck is going on here? Somebody's getting mugged. What? I don't know. What, just banging drums. Nobody's got any sense of rhythm. Screaming stuff. Nobody's got any sense of melody or harmony or none of that. It's just like, what the fuck? I wouldn't want that on my birthday. That sounds like, what did I do? Is this a punishment for being born?
Oh, that's terrible. Can we make that a t-shirt? It's okay to be racist, Matt Napo 2024.
It doesn't hurt to be racist, is what I said.
It doesn't hurt to be racist. There
The
you
thing
go.
is that he just gained 4 more points in his congressional race.
Right.
Your Rumble following just went up.
That district, I forget about 4 more points. I just sealed the victory by saying, yeah.
Congressman, Your Honor, the honorary representative Matt Napo.
I was thinking about just saying this, that I really need the income. I could use that. Well, I don't know what they get now. I think $165,000 a year to start.
To get that, what do I get as an aide?
Right. I'll put you on staff. But I'm thinking about
not your staff. I don't want to know.
Oh, you don't want to be on my staff.
I'll definitely get on your staff if it means a decent payroll. Let's go.
Well,
I'll Monica your Lewinsky.
I was thinking about I was thinking about putting out a fresh campaign video because I got a thing about yesterday how I'm doing in the polls. I was like, no, these fucking people just trying to sell you on their services, putting together campaign ads and stuff. But they according to the people who emailed me, I have a chance. I'm not like out of the running, which would be totally bizarre considering I have not done any campaigning in a year since Santos, or about a year since Santos dropped out. I mean, I did those interviews at the television station, and they aired them, and that was it.
Can you imagine the montages of all the shit he said just in the last 6 months that they would put together on all the news stations? Matt Napo wins, but check this out. This is who won, guys. Ready? And they put together this montage. It's just 7 minutes of the most off-the-wall, crazy shit out of context.
The Bukkake candidate.
The Bukkake video would be the first one to pop up too.
Ron, is George Santos in your collection of people who visit you in your damn? Because we can have him endorse Matt. We can make a video of him endorsing Matt to replace him. No, but
believe it or not, on YouTube, and the pre-roll ads, George Santos is now pitching some stupid marketing MLM scheme on YouTube as a pre-roll on a lot of my videos. I was like, what the fuck, man? This guy is he has no shit because he's already going to jail. I think he's already been sentenced, but I know he's going to jail. He's not like Trump. He doesn't have the magic Kavorka to stay out of jail. So he's definitely going away. But in the meantime, he's grifting his ass off.
So Ron, who do you have that will endorse Matt?
It could be anybody.
I think Barack Obama told me to suck his dick. That sounds like an endorsement.
Bill Clinton to endorse him too.
Now Obama's looking kind of old all of a sudden. Because in the clips that Ron has, he's still looking young and vital. But he's been campaigning for Harris, and he's looking a little. He's 64, which is no spring chicken. But he's finally starting to look it. For a long time, he didn't look like he was 80. He's the one president who did not look like hell after he got out of office. But
he did age, though. The only one who didn't change was
for sure.
He did age. The only one who didn't change was Trump. Trump went in bronze and bleached blonde, and he came out bronze and bleached, but he also didn't do the job, so he never stressed over anything.
Now, have you noticed that the orange bronzer has gone to almost total blackface now? He's looking like he's really brown, It looks like he's trying to win the West Virginia coal miners vote by insisting that he was working in a coal mine or something. It's just weird, and he's leaving a bigger white line between the face and the hair. It just looks like he's wearing a blackface mask or something. Have you noticed?
Hey, coffee with the dog. Suck my dick.
Thank you for that endorsement.
Has been the best president for the black population.
I'm just going to be a congressman, by the way, not president, but I will be for the white population that's in District 3. I'll make it Columbus Day to get rid of these indignified indigenous. I'll get rid of them right off the calendar.
But if you did that, what would happen to your discount, to your weed discount?
Shh.
I'm just saying.
That's what would happen. Shh. I'm not him. I just look like him. I look like a lot of people. I look like Himmler, for Christ's sakes. Come on, I could be anybody.
It's true. That's very true. Hey, we know your struggle. It's okay.
You're one of the illegitimate Marx brothers. You're Napo Marx.
What? Shh. But speaking of Puspatuk, yesterday we had a strange gig. It was at a restaurant that we play at often. But the restaurant didn't hire us. A private party hired us. And they hired us to start at 3 p.m. And at 3 p.m., they weren't there. And at 4 p.m., they still weren't there. Around 4:30, they started tagging. And now we're only supposed to go to 6. But I'm out of weed. And I'm looking up the dispensary to Puspatuk. And it closes at 9. I was like, well, we can't extend the gig. I mean, my only concern about expanding the hours on the gig is will I be able to make it to the dispensary on time? I got there with 1 minute just as they were calling up. The security guard was at the door, like, well, locking up. Like, hold it. And they were happy to see me.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's done that in my life. There's been several times where I've been places where the shit's legal, and I'm like, are we gonna get out of here in time to hit that dispensary that closes at midnight? Because I really need to stop there.
Midnight would be wonderful. They should stay open to midnight. Then I would not have any stress.
No,
there's a few in Michigan that do. It's really nice.
I was in Excitement Video, checking out some of their dildos and stuff. And about 2 minutes before the store closes, this guy comes running in, needing an emergency supply of dildos and lube. and there was one other thing he asked for. I can't remember now, but he asked dildos, lube, and something else. And just as he's checking out, but he rushes in. I'm like, okay, at least I came in like 10 minutes early, but he 2 minutes and he's like, I need. I need dildos. Where your dildos? I need lube. Where your lubes? And there's something else he asked for, something edible, but I can't, like, not weed, but like underwear or something. I don't know. But he had like a specific last minute list. And I thought to myself, wow, what a freak.
Did you get Diddy's autograph?
Have you?
I was too shocked.
Have you I was on DoorDash this morning and I was ordering some drinks for the day. And
they brought you a door?
What?
They dashed over a door. DoorDash. They bring you a door really fast.
And while I'm looking through it, and keep in mind I'm shopping what's called Dash Mart. It's like basically a convenience store, right? And while I'm scrolling through, they have a whole sex toy section. And I was totally caught off guard. I'm like scrolling through, there's like Pepsi, chips, pretzels, dildo.
Yeah.
And then I keep going. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I keep going, and then it's like pocket pussy, lube, dildo, anal beads. I'm like, what the fuck is happening to my phone? And I'm confused. And there's just a whole sex toy section at the fucking convenience store. Like you can literally get a Monster, a burger, a bag of chips, and anal beads all sent to your door within 15 minutes.
Bean dip. You forgot the bean dip.
And bean dip. Dude, you can get all of that within 15 minutes. Dude, we're in the future, man. I tell you what, you can order a whole good night for like $30.
Ron is about to ask you for that site. Good, Ron. You said take it easy, Boomer.
All right, yeah, I already said it. I said take it easy, Boomer.
Oh, I'm not upset. I was just caught off guard because I didn't know that was a thing. I also didn't notice the THC section.
Did you say boomer or beaner?
Boomer.
Because he's only a beaner by marriage. Right.
Actually, the correct term is carabiner because they're Puerto Rican.
All right, good. I sit corrected in solidarity with you.
Now, is it carrot because they're brown, like the bean?
No, it's because they're from the Caribbean. Not from.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, I didn't come up with that word. My sister-in-law, who is also Puerto Rican, came up with that.
I thought Billy Ocean came up with that.
I mean, probably. I'm just saying I heard it from her. I don't not necessarily that she's the originator.
Carabiner Queen. Wasn't that his song, Carabiner Queen?
Yeah, that was.
I thought it was Mississippi Queen.
It's Carabiner Queen. It was actually it was his version of Hot Legs.
Oh, you lost me at Hot Legs.
He did rip off other people's songs. Like all of his songs were like not as bad as Jelly Roll. I don't know if you guys follow Jelly Roll.
No.
But he is taking songs that were hits, not changing any of the music at all, or not even changing the melody. He's doing a parody. He has one of Take Me Home Country Roads. He has one of Chevy Van, the old song Chevy Van, and Drift Away, that he kind of mocked up. But it's just like changing the words to a song and calling it a new song.
Well, the thing, so I've noticed that as well. And there was an interview he did recently. I can't remember who it was with. Maybe it was the Breakfast Club. I can't remember who it was with, but he's been being approached by artists who apparently love his voice or whatever, and are asking him to do these songs. That's what's been happening.
I want to see these. I want to see the written requests in this because
I agree because Country Road is not great.
Yeah, and John,
MGK.
Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing. It is a very loved song. We get requested to play that song a lot, and the entire fucking crowd sings along. We don't. It's one of those where you could just put the mic out and let the crowd sing.
Yeah, it's an amazing song if done right, and I don't think the Jelly Roll version is great. And I'm a Jelly Roll fan, but I don't think it's a very good song. Not by him.
All right, I don't love it either, but obviously people love it.
Oh yeah.
That's you know what, it never surprises me about what songs people like really fucking react to, and just it's my favorite song ever. Really? Why?
What really pisses me off is when I see something really, really stupid on the internet, and I'm like, this is gonna be really fucking popular, and then it happens, and I hate the whole human race a little bit more.
Yeah, I hate
like Hawk to a Girl. When I saw
Oh.
Hawk to a Girl, that video, the original video only had like maybe 200,000 likes at the time. And I was like, oh, great. This is going to hit fucking hard. And within like 24 hours, it was fucking everywhere. We're doomed.
So, yeah, changing the subject a little bit here again. Now, after I texted Nikki, the wrong Nick, that I love them and appreciate them, I was still on that roll of I got to tell people in my life that I appreciate them and love them. And I called up Ralph, and I was telling him what was going on, and he's like, you know what, you do good. Your wife is worth, your life is worth something, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, what's that noise in the background? And he goes, Trump. He's watching a Trump rally. I was like, you know what? I don't really fucking appreciate you either. Fuck.
Was he there live or just watching it on television?
I think he watches them live. I think he This is what, and he said, "Oh, he's really funny." Like, no, he's not.
No.
He likes his dance too. Look, he's gonna dance. He's describing to me. He's giving me the play-by-play now. He's going. He's gonna dance. He's gonna dance. And I'm like, you mean he's gonna jerk off two invisible guys? That's
dude. He's funny. He's funny and entertaining in a sad way, like monkeys in a circus. Like
no, like your disabled uncle at Thanksgiving.
I am the disabled uncle at Thanksgiving.
Entertaining.
I am the disabled uncle at Thanksgiving, and I'm hilarious. So fuck you.
I find that a good excuse to leave wherever I am. But you know, I can't understand. Like,
You're watching his rally on television. Have you not heard this stuff enough? Can you give that rally on your own in your sleep by now? I mean, nothing changes.
Well, here is a quote from NBC News from one of their articles over the weekend talking about the rhetoric and stuff. So this is from NBC News quoting Donald Trump is ramping up his rhetoric, depicting his political rivals and critics as criminals while dropping a long trail of suggestion that he favors outlawing political speech that he deems misleading or challenges his claims to power. And if you're a comedian or even any type of citizen and you hear that shit, if you line up behind that, go fuck yourself and stick your fist up your own ass.
Wow.
And
wow.
and if you are if you want to be a true conservative and not a pussy conservative, to show me how good your backbone is, move to a conservative communist country and let us know how it works out for you.
Ron's a little upset this morning. Now, I just want to know.
Now, Mom, I just said, Matt, do you want to play the part about the views of this show or the opinions on this expressed on this show?
Well, they're all of Ron
Actually,
came, but I have to
yeah.
agree with him on.
I agree with him on everything he
I
just
fairly
said.
agree with. I agree with that as well, man. Yeah,
I
that's,
do
I'm
too.
just
I'm
curious
saying
about one
I'm thinking
thing
of the
you
Rumble
said there.
people. I'm thinking of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Rumble
Fuck
people. I don't want
Rumble
us to
too.
get banned.
fuck the
You know
Rumble
what?
people.
We are, according to Rumble, I am so far to the left of Bernie Sanders that I might as well be, I don't know, Karl Marx. Not Napo Marx, Karl Marx, our great
See,
grandfather.
what Rumble doesn't understand is this show doesn't. Just because we're super anti-Trump doesn't mean we're anti-conservative. We're just fucking anti-stupid ass fucking bullshit.
Right.
Idiots.
But if we could just put all that aside for just a second, I'm curious about something Ron said. Stick your fist up your own ass. Now, I'm not even sure that's possible. Have physicists looked into this? Can it be actually done without being a contortionist, or do you have to be double jointed or something to do?
Don't do it, Matt. Don't say yes. Don't do it. You know Steven's got the links to prove it.
Oh no, I don't want to see it.
Well, you asked if it's possible because not only is it possible, a regular person can do it.
I could not listen. My ass, not to brag or anything, but it's it's pretty tight. It has never been penetrated, even by a. There was one time, I'll admit, the doctor put the thing on his pinky, and but that he had a small pinky. So the small little pinky compared to this would never get in. No way. I mean,
the theory is you do it one finger at a time, and then you make a fist.
Matt, can I tell you something?
That's cheating.
With enough lube, anything is possible.
You're a cheating fister.
Well, Matt doesn't count it because he didn't come. It was only pre-cum.
I don't count it because, first of all, I was a young man and extremely homophobic, more homophobic than I am now. And here's the deal. I went home from a gig. For some reason, I don't know. I walked to the gig and walked home. And so I got home very late and I passed out on the living room floor, literally on the living room floor. I woke up in the morning and on my wrist, there was like a golf ball sized lump on my wrist. And I was like 22 years old or something and not very bright. And I thought, I got a tumor. I got cancer of the wrist while I was sleeping. So that's the only thing that would make me go to the doctor. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I have wrist cancer. And I went to the doctor, and I'm reluctant to go to doctors anyway. And I'm waiting on the table. He has me pull my pants down and sit on the fucking table. I'm like, it's about a fucking thing on my wrist. And he asked me to bend over the table, and he's putting the thing on his fucking finger. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm here about my fucking wrist, not my ass. And I was almost in tears as he stuck his pinky in my ass, like, this is making me gay now. I don't want to be gay.
Hey, when he was done, did he say, all right, the doctor will be in a second?
Well, yeah. He said, so he basically did the whole physical on me. and then said, "You're okay." And I was like, "I'm okay. What about this?" He goes, "Oh, that." He goes, bang it on a book." I was like, "What?" He said, "It's a ganglion cyst. You bang it on it's ganglion. It'll break right up." I was like, "So what the fuck did you have to ass rape me for?" I was gonna find out. I gotta get. You knew right away I had a ganglion cyst. You could have just let me go. Okay.
He said, I didn't have to, I wanted to.
Right. And then he pulled a bouquet of flowers out of my ass and said, "Read the card."
Did he take a quarter and say, "Is this your quarter I just pulled out of your ass?"
Let me smell it. No, that's not my quarter.
Did he go, "I got your virginity"?
Yeah, here
Fine.
you go. I got you. I got
You
your
want it
hymen,
back?
Matt. I got your hymen, Matt.
Yeah.
And then 30 years later, he's meeting guys in parking lots.
I'm still traumatized by that whole fucking thing. I mean, I was too young. I was too young to lose my anal virginity to. And then now, anytime I see a doctor with one of those fucking gloves, it's like, get the fuck away from me.
What he refuses to tell us is that it wasn't even a doctor; it was the janitor at the hospital wearing a coat.
You know what? I didn't check his ID. That's a good point. I should go back there. He's probably dead. He was old then.
Now, Matt, of course, and you said you feel that whenever you see a doctor do that. What about a coworker? When you see,
that's a full glove, man. That's it seems to me like you were ready for this moment, first of all, which is really disturbing.
I'm always ready for this moment.
What's weirdly weird about this situation is I too am also weirdly prepared for this moment.
Okay, Ron. All right, Ron.
All right.
It's up to you.
Please don't.
Who's first?
Even if you have one, just act like you don't have one.
Hold on a second. Huck. All right, who's first? This reminds me of band camp. Anyway.
Now, speaking of gloves and sticking fingers up your ass and all that kind of stuff that we are
I didn't
lovely.
see Matt go for the B. I didn't see Matt go for the B.
I did.
Oh.
See, I was conscious of not to wind up too much, but I did hit the thing.
Now, this will be the first video they play when Matt wins his election. Is going to be this video right here.
You know, it's super far fetched, but what a trip that would be if I would somehow win it. Listen, stranger things have happened in that district. They elected George Santos, but he was out actually campaigning and telling them what they wanted to hear. I haven't even been in that district for more except passing through for a long time.
Here's what needs to happen: if you win, okay, you make us part of your staff, right? So then. Yeah. When the news introduces all of us, they just bring up one of our episodes. We get matching grease jackets, and we become the bad boys of Capitol Hill.
All right. Listen, it's not going to happen, but it's not bad to dream about right now. Like, I just being. First of all, I really do need the money. I do need the money. My wife has been out of work for a year. She's too young. She's not on Social Security or anything. She just left her job. So I need to make up all that income. So that's the only reason I really want to be in Congress. I don't really want to represent anybody. I don't really have any fucking ideas. Well, I got nothing. They should play that on B. Play
His
that.
hands were soft and supple.
I mean, if my whole thing, my premise was just to go there and like turn over the tables of the money changers, like Christ in the temple.
Do it.
That's what.
Yeah, but that would be great though if you won and they show up to your house and they're like, "What are you going to do now?" And you're like, "I got nothing."
Make a sandwich.
My entire plan is to see if I could get Jim Jordan alone and fucking rape him. That's
my God.
You got the right staff for that.
We got you. We'll set it up.
Yeah, you'll be surrounded by a group of one-eyed people.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Matt. All of us will wear eye patches. We'll be your one-eye minions.
Oh, I think you got the wrong congressman. I think you're looking for Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't like other handicapped people. We won't work well together.
I don't know if that's a handicap. To me,
Isn't he in a
he's almost
wheelchair?
all the way there. I would go for 2 eye patches.
Isn't he
and
in a
just-
wheelchair too, or is that a different guy?
No, that was Quench.
Oh, that was another guy from Florida, a young guy with the sex
No, North
issue.
Carolina, South Carolina, whatever.
Right.
He he got caught fucking his cousin in the ass.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember his name. And it was who cares? Who cares about it?
Crippy fucking McGee. Who cares? Anyway, back to you, Matt.
This might be tough to see, but here, let me show you guys this.
Uh-oh. Why do I get
Well,
scared?
you know it's not a dick pic.
Oh, yeah. An eye patch of an eye. I like it.
This is your average Matt Napo supporter donating his good eye to the election.
To the Lisa Lefi Lopez Fund.
The Elect Matt Napo Foundation.
Speaking of left eyes, why am I left eye in? Here's a very, you know who Mickey Edwards was? GOP Congressman Mickey Edwards, who was the leader of the Heritage Foundation, super conservative, has endorsed Harris. That's fucking groundbreaking. I mean, for the conservatives, this was the guy. He was a leader of the Heritage Foundation. You don't get more conservative than that.
Did you say groundbreaking or groundbreaking?
He said groundbreaking.
Brown.
Well, I think that's accurate.
But it feels like, I don't know, that it almost feels like they're doing this to sabotage Harris. I mean, all these prominent conservatives coming out and endorsing it. Dick Cheney, of course, the Republicans are using that, like RFK Jr. saying, "Oh, the Democrats have become a party of Dick Cheney." No, they're not. They're not endorsing him. He's endorsing her. That's different. They're not like saying, "Yeah, we agree with Dick Cheney on his beliefs now." But that's how they're using it, and it feels like all these conservatives coming out to endorse her feels like they might be using it as kind of like that kind of I don't know, not clickbait, bait and switch type of tactic of what is groundbreaking, like when Teamsters don't endorse Democrats for the first time in a decade. I don't know. Is that true? Teamsters.
My understanding is that they didn't endorse. They didn't endorse because I believe it was like the rank and file members couldn't agree, and so they didn't endorse anybody.
Oh, so they got a lot of cult members in there. Now, I think decades would probably be more like it. Would be clear, to be clear, there is nobody who hates unions more than Donald Trump does. Nobody, unless it's like
and that's what I don't get.
Unless it's a top union in New York City because he likes that they.
Well, speaking of that, there is, you know how they've been talking about like no tax on overtime type of shit.
Yeah.
That's like one of their things. Well, if you look on the books, in law, and especially for labor. So the way overtime can be calculated is an average over a pay period. So for example, a lot of these companies would, the average would be 40 hours. So over, 40 hours would be the average. So over a 2-week span time, essentially what they could do, they could essentially work you 60 hours one week and 20 the next and not pay any overtime at all under those laws.
No tax on tips. Circumcision's on the rise. I don't think on the rise is exactly the right part of it.
You're not supposed to rise for at least a week after your circumcision.
Yeah, no. With the price of bacon going up, it's just being repackaged. Is what happened.
I got circumcised at 50, and the doctor told me no erections, for like a week or so because you're going to tear the stitches.
How do you not get?
I would have said, then don't look at me with those eyes like that. That's what I would have said. Yeah.
Gay.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Now the average thing with the overtime is they can get sneaky with that, I guess. But if you're not in a union, you're only your only recourse is to fucking quit. So, take this job and shove it. I haven't played that song in a while. I got to play that one next time.
And the other thing is,
Freebird.
the funny thing is, like Trump and Vance like to say, why didn't Harris do this in her term? First of all, she's the vice president. They don't get to do that kind of stuff. Trump did actually have 4 years. Why didn't Trump make automobile purchases tax deductible during his first term? Why didn't Trump make overtime tax free or make no tax on tips during his first term? Because he doesn't. He's just trying to. He's just desperate to stay out of jail now.
You're not giving him. He was under attack, always having to fight these ridiculous Russia, made up fake news. That's why. Because he was busy fighting all the demon Democrats.
He had time. He had time to ask his Justice Department to investigate Peter Schropp, Hillary Clinton, whoever her attorney was.
He didn't have time for any of that stuff. He had to write jokes.
No, he did all that stuff. He had them all investigated, and none of them were arrested or indicted or anything. They came up with diddly squat.
Did you say
did he squat?
Did he squat?
Did he or didn't he?
Well, did he squat?
Yeah.
And he couldn't lock her up because they didn't have anything, but he did investigate. They did investigate.
How? Well, he had to write all those jokes, and he had to choreograph entire. That takes time, man. You don't just.
Yes.
That's it. You don't just pull that out of a hat like Jiminy Cricket out of your pocket, to quote Ken Tamplin. I had to say Ken Tamplin. By the way, I just want to let people know, because I did watch your show, Black Coffee Hold the Dog.
Oh, okay.
And you guys were talking about ticket prices. And then on my gig that night, my wife was going to see a Carpenters tribute band at Riverhead Theater here on Long Island. And the guy who usually runs Riverhead Theater was playing bass with Rockin' 45s on this night. So the conversation went to, my wife is at the Carpenters shows. You know how much the tickets go? Now, this is for a tribute band. For a Carpenters tribute band, the seats were $360. I was like, I don't think the Carpenters ever got that much money for the top seat one of their shows.
They didn't get that much for a whole gig. Are you kidding?
We're talking about the prices, and the thing was sold out. And what the band, I was finding out what some of these tribute bands make. And some of these tribute bands, I mean, not this particular one, but one of the ones that was mentioned gets $38,000 a night. Now they're not quite there, but they're over 20 for the Carpenters tribute band.
Now, wasn't there a tribute band that you were like asked to design a website for, and they were making like big bucks?
They are making around 20, maybe just shy of 20 or around 20 a night.
Yeah, well, to me that's big bucks. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know about you other three guys, but $20,000 in a night is big bucks.
I'm not sure how it's divvied up. If it's like even, like I'm not sure like the backup singers get an even cut of that. That's what I'm curious about. Like how does it get split up? That 20 grand or 38 grand in the terms of one band that played. That's a tribute band. And
I honestly did some research, and I think 90% of that money goes to the guitar tuners. It goes to the roadies.
That's what I want to be then. I'll take the money. Take the money and run. But
we should form a tribute band. Fuck this Coffee with the Dog shit. We should form a tribute band.
I was just about to fucking say.
No, this is where I was going with this. I am going to be doing a Chris Christopherson tribute. I'm going to get a wig. I'm going to grow a beard, and I'm going to do a Chris Christopherson tribute while he's still dead.
I will get my hair styled like Barbara Streisand, and we could do duets.
I ain't fucking you.
I'm asking you to.
I'll be the cameraman then, I guess.
I'm pretty sure they didn't do that all the time.
Best view is on streamboo.com. Remove the space. What the fuck is Streamboo? Streamboo.
That's cute.
Amateur mutiny.
I'm not buying viewers, sir. I don't. You know what is the point of having robots drive up your view list? so that you can feel better about your empty
No,
little
so
fucking life? I don't know.
the live streamers do it. So the big live streamers on like Twitch or whatever, a lot of them have been caught, and a lot of them still do, by robotic viewers, because when you're live streaming,
Steven Crowder, his father was buying him traffic because big time, and when they stopped that, all of a sudden his numbers went from
Yeah.
millions down to hundreds.
but that's why they do it, is because if the stream platform doesn't catch it, they're paying out on ad dollars, they're paying out on the views, they're giving you monetization for it. Like, you can cheat the system by buying views. It's an
The
easy way to
advertiser
do
should
it.
do
but
a
it-
class action suit against those people, like because
Mhm.
that's thievery.
Yeah.
You're telling people that you were showing your ad to millions of people when in fact maybe a few hundred people are seeing the ad, and the rest of them are robots who don't fucking.
Yeah, because for example, on Twitch, just to become an affiliate, like what I did, you have to average like 30 viewers an hour, 30 viewers for throughout your whole stream, so many views per month, blah 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 blah. And if you buy ads or buy the viewers, you can knock that out in one stream.
Now it probably costs more to buy the ads than you would make, right? Buy the viewers.
I've
than
never
you-
priced it because I've always assumed that shit's gonna put shit in your computer or whatever. So I've never tried it.
Yeah,
It scares
it's-
me. I'm
But
not
so don't
willing to
come
risk it.
pitching that shit. It's basically the point.
Yeah, fuck
Mr.
off.
Amateur mutiny.
Now, I want
Not
to
inter-
answer Ian. It says that GD should be a Kevin Hart tribute comedian and sell tickets for $150 each. Just for the record, I would never lower myself to do a Kevin Hart tribute or Kevin Hart material or pay to see Kevin Hart. Would not lower myself. Can't do it.
I could do a Stephen Hawking impression during the shows and come out and be like, "This is mathematically funny." Ha 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 ha.
Technically, this is a joke.
This is
All right.
really a joke, and just back off the stage backwards.
Yeah. You know what? No matter how many times I post on my Facebook stuff that I'm not interested in podcast promoters, YouTube promoters, whatever they are, I'm still getting a dozen of them a day.
These are bots.
They want to.
They're bots doing it.
Yeah,
why.
leave me alone, man. I'm not buying. No, they're not. I don't think they're bots, unless their bots are really. Well, they could be bots, chat bots. But I say no, fuck off, choke on a dick, things like that, and they keep coming. Like, sir, I'll give you a free trial. No, choke on a dick. But I'll give you 3 days free, and you don't have to pay me anything. No, I don't want fake numbers. It's hard enough for doing this organically and getting it right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, not to mention, if you do that and then let's say those numbers drop off drastically, it'll bring attention to your channel, because now the platform's like, whoa, maybe there's an issue here. Then you get caught, then you get demonetized. So don't risk it.
So
people.
with that theory, could I bring down like somebody if I were inclined to be like one of these fucking people just want to cancel people? I could find them, buy bots to go on their site for a week, drive their numbers through the roof, and then pull them out. And then YouTube will say, "Hey, wait a minute, you hired those," because they can't prove who hired the bots, right?
I don't see why not. There was some kind
I mean,
of
I
trail.
guess theoretically, yeah. But I think you're going to have to be able to provide proof.
I don't even know if there's any kind of laws or any kind of guidelines that says you cannot buy bots for someone else's site.
There's well, no, in the terms and conditions,
Yeah, I'm
purchasing
pretty sure in the
views
terms.
is against terms of and conditions. Period. If they catch it,
Not
they
that
demonetize you. No matter how
I'm
big
not
the
a
catch is.
cancel culture guy. I don't support that idea. I just think, just theoretically, it could be done. So somebody, I hate to put this out there, but somebody who really hates me could do that, and that would fuck me up. And then YouTube or whatever, or some of these platforms.
Is there anybody left alive that actually could hate you? Because I think most of them have mysteriously disappeared.
If you've known me for 30 seconds, it's not hard to,
you're grooming new hatred all the time. I got you.
I imagine murdering him the second time I met him. So,
you actually waited to the second time?
I'm a terrible judge of character.
Yeah. Now, $150 he mentioned for the Kevin Hart tribute. That seems cheap. Again, the Carpenter's tribute, $360 for the top seats at this fucking place. And that's $360 was just for the seats, not dinner and drinks and all that stuff. So if you're going on a date, that is easily like a $900 date, right?
If you want to,
is that why your wife is going alone? Is that why your wife is going alone and not taking you?
She got this. My wife is part of these women's friendship group. A lot of lonely people are married to musicians, basically, or divorced or whatever they are. They don't want to go see their husband's or boyfriend's band. It gets old, so they go do things together. Whatever.
If you want a cheap ticket, come to Fort Wayne. There's a Styx tribute band. Tickets are only $75 a person. And
Styx tribute, you say?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not bad though.
I don't know if I know any of their songs or not, but
have any of you ever seen Mini Kiss? It's a Kiss tribute band and they're all little people.
No.
I've never heard them. I've only seen pictures. I've never heard them, so I don't know what they sound like.
Wow.
They sound. I think they use a track, like a cover thing.
Have you ever heard of Dred Zeppelin?
I've heard of Dred Zeppelin. It's like
I mastered their albums back in the day when I worked for A&M and Polygram and Polydor. They were a band that did Led Zeppelin covers, but they did it in reggae style. The lead singer was called Tortelvis. He looked like Elvis, but he was Fat Elvis and called himself Tortelvis. And he did like reggae music, Led Zeppelin music, reggae style with an Elvis type voice. If you can imagine that.
That sounds horrible.
My question is, how did The Ocean sound? Because I like the song Ocean, The Ocean.
Almost everything they did was catchy enough that you think, wow, this is pretty cool. I imagine it this way.
We should probably play the news, huh?
Oh, is it time already? Wow. See that? I ranted for so long that it's time for the news.
We didn't get a word in edgewise.
Boeing announced it is reducing its workforce by 10%, which translates to around 17,000 employees.
In a memo,
and
CEO
about 30,000 less
revealed the
deaths.
layoffs, stating that the aerospace company is facing difficult choices to remain competitive. Ortberg also mentioned that Boeing is postponing the development of its 777X airplane and pausing production of the 767 aircraft after fulfilling the current customer orders. Kyle Norris reporting.
The United Nations peacekeeping mission in southern Lebanon reported that Israeli forces fired on several of its installations in the area.
Tensions between Israel and the UN have risen as Israeli military operations against the Iran-backed Hezbollah continue to escalate. UNIFIL's Nakura headquarters and nearby positions have been repeatedly hit. 2 peacekeepers were injured after an IDF Merkava tank fired at an observation tower at UNIFIL's Nakura headquarters, hitting it directly and causing the peacekeepers to fall, the UNIFIL mission said in a statement. Benjamin Wright reporting.
The Israeli military has once again instructed Palestinians in the northern Gaza Strip to evacuate their homes and shelters as troops continue their week-long offensive against militants.
Military spokesman Avichai Adre urged people to leave parts of Gaza City's Sheikh Radwan neighborhood as well as other areas around Jabalia, the urban refugee camp where Israeli forces have launched several major operations throughout the conflict only to return after militants regrouped. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
It's the
A
oldest
NASA spacecraft
headline.
is prepared to begin its journey to Jupiter and its moon Europa, one of the leading candidates for potential extraterrestrial life.
The Europa Clipper mission will investigate beneath Europa's icy surface, where an ocean is believed to be just below. While the spacecraft won't search directly for life, it will assess whether the environment could support it. A future mission would be required to search for any microorganisms. It's an opportunity for us to explore not a world that might have been habitable billions of years ago, but one that
really
could be habitable
strange
today,
disease
right now,
from
said
another
program
planet,
scientist
bring
Kurt
it back
Niebuhr.
here.
Liam White reporting.
Several children and adults were hospitalized in Pennsylvania on Friday night after being poisoned by mushrooms, according to authorities.
Emergency medical teams responded around 9:30 p.m. to reports that 11 people had fallen ill after eating mushrooms in Peach Bottom Township. The Delta Cardiff Volunteer Company Station 57 posted on social media. Units were advised that 11 individuals had consumed toxic mushrooms and were all suffering from illness, the post stated. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Oklahoma police officer shot and killed a woman who had been firing a gun and threatening them after a car crash, authorities reported.
The woman was linked to an earlier shooting, according to Police Captain Valerie Littlejohn. 7 officers arrived at the crash site and attempted to engage with her, but opened fire when she brandished her weapon at them, Littlejohn said. We don't know if she was aiming at anyone or just firing the shots into the air or the ground, Littlejohn explained. Lawrence Keller reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Oh, wow. That is not the latest.
Now, my question about Boeing laying off those people is how many of them are going to be QA people and mechanics? Because those are the ones that Boeing really should not be laying off.
There was a time in my career, in my life, one of my careers was an infrared Zyglo. I can't even remember. It was a infrared Zyglo Magnaflux inspector. That was my official title, and it was basically Boeing and all these aircraft companies would outsource the Q&A stuff. So it was my job at that point, and I only lasted like 3 days, and I fucking walked off the job. It was just an insane amount of pressure and all this stuff. My job was to make sure all those parts were safe and all that stuff. They'd ship the parts to a different company, and we'd have to put it through infrared Zyglo Magnaflux and all those kind of tests for that, and then ship it back. But here's the point that I was really awkwardly trying to make. They don't know that in the shipping back after I look at it, it's cool. Ship it back. Right.
This looks good.
Yeah, right. So there's no chain of custody is an important part of this thing, and it got inspected in a third-party company. Now they're shipping it back. There's no telling that it didn't get damaged in shipping back. What do you got to do? Ship it back to them to make sure it didn't get broken, and then ship it back, and it could get broken again. I mean, how do you do that? I think they still do that. I'm not sure, but I think that company.
Well, for the longest time, cruise ships and airliners were getting their maintenance done in third world countries, or not third world, in third, like I'm not saying the Philippines are third world country, but countries that don't have to go by our standards of safety.
Yeah, I never learned to speak correctly. So it's not unusual for people to say, what did he fucking say? Zyglo Magnaflux is what I said. And whatever that means, I really couldn't describe it accurately.
It sounds like you're fluxing lava babies.
Right. I am. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, so the Boeing thing, they're going out of business, right? They're not going to recover from this. They're already in a tailspin here, laying off people. How important is it to have a company like Boeing around? Well, weren't the people who were stuck in this International Space Station relying on Boeing's help to get out of there?
Yeah, but that was a different division. It's not you can have a problem with the aircraft just because. I mean, with the rockets, because the aircraft's scared. No way.
I don't know.
A totally different. Just because it's the same CEO doesn't mean you have the same maintenance policies. That's
I'm just asking questions. I'm not I don't have an opinion on this. I'm just wondering. Anytime a big company could go belly up, I think it's
it's kind of important to notice because it could have a ripple effect on the economy. There's no reason for me to be nervous about this because I'm going to be dead before any ripple could start its way out. So
I don't think Boeing will go out of business per se. They'll either be absorbed by Airbus or some other, something. Elon Musk will buy them and fix them just like he fixed Twitter.
No. Okay, his cars are fucking cheaply built fucking fire
Did you see
hazards.
the toaster thing he came out with? Like, it's a
what?
minivan that looks like your grandmother's toaster or something.
But he's you know what? There's rumors already going around that there could be some lawsuits happening based on his designs for his car, his toaster van, and the robots he just designed. The guys from iRobot, all the visual directors from that show, from that movie, are all like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Because they're almost carbon copies, like the way they look.
I was telling my wife about this the other day. We're talking about this, I think, on Saturday. I was explaining to her that Elon Musk is not like a genius. He never created anything. The only thing he does is steal other people's designs and throw money behind it.
Right.
And he hires people, but he himself hasn't invented anything.
Right, the Tesla guys had to have been putting out pictures of them with the original Tesla that they founded and designed and built and engineered, and then he bought the company, but he gets all the credit for being the founder. No, he wasn't a founder. He didn't even know about it at the time.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if you've seen the Tesla stock. Now they're trying to tie causation to this, but since he did the jump up and down with the shirt thing behind Trump, his stock is tanked, like really, I mean, totally tanked. I don't know, it will recover, but
is it the jump or is it the look that he gave when he shook his hand, like I'm an evil master, like this?
I don't know why. If you're an investor, I don't know why that. You didn't know he was half a retard before that.
Well, investors like stability. I mean, they can deal with evil. They can deal with pedophilia as long as it's consistent. It's when you start doing unpredictable stuff that's what scares them. They have to be able to know what you're up to. They have to be able to predict what your behavior is like. They have to know that when you're in times of trouble, monetary comes to me. So they need to know that you're going to be a stable, hand.
Are we going to get a copyright notice for that little humming of parody of?
No, that's a totally different song. It's a totally different song. It's monetary comes to me.
I know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Fucking let it all happen. I'm ready. Let it all crash this thing right into Europa and its underground ocean, which, let's be honest, Europa is a moon around Jupiter. That water's got to be fucking ice. Nothing wants to live in something that fucking cold. I mean,
we have things living in stuff that cold. You go down to the Arctic and things. If there's water, you got things living near. First of all, we have like underwater heat vents, so to speak. So the water itself, life could be there. It's just going to be microbial.
So they're all hanging around the heat vent like a bunch of homeless people in the subway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, but there's also potential.
Rubbing their flagella together to stay warm.
All right.
There's also potential for there to be better, like more complex life too, depending on how hot the core of the planet is, how active the, anything underground might be, or anything like that.
It's a moon, not a planet.
It's okay, but it's
the moon.
Planetary body.
It's a moon.
What about Pluto? Is that a planet, or is that a planet, a satellite, a moon, or orbital?
You leave that poor planet alone. It did nothing wrong to anybody but hang out far away, and people keep picking on it. Leave it alone.
It's a moon. Did you guys?
We're getting foreign invaders, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think it's one of these AI news guys.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
It sounds like one of these AI news guys. Right. Good morning, Carl. Good afternoon, Carl. Good something, Carl.
It's the Chinese disguised as the British today, so we are coming.
I knew it.
We are one haircut.
Oh, wow.
What's that city skyline behind you?
This is the city I'm in. This is Manchester. In fact,
wow.
I think I can almost see where I live. I think I can see the building that I live in from here, but I'm not going to say which one. cases of drug
That's a
attack.
very big city. It looks like as big as New York, LA, Chicago.
No.
Are those real clouds or is that AI? Because I thought it rained there all the time. I didn't even know
it rains inside my soul all the time. We're skyscraper central now. No, it's not that big. The top of the city's like in the distance you can see the countryside, a national park. So it's 20 minutes to walk from top to bottom of the actual center. So it's not that big.
Now we were speaking about outer space stuff. We were talking about Europa on Jupiter's moon and Pluto for some reason. I don't know how Pluto got in here.
Well, Friday, it's our Europa. It's not your Europa. It's our Europa.
Okay, Europa.
Our Europa, right?
Your,
yes.
Not mine. Okay,
Right.
I got it. Not my Europa, your Europa.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Be that way. I would share my Europa with you. I think it was Friday night. I lose track of the days. No, it was Thursday night. I was at the wake, and I started getting these people texting me pictures of the sky, the aurora borealis, and I went out and I didn't see shit. Did you guys see any of that stuff?
No, dude, I didn't even know about it till the next day. I was so mad.
Yeah, everyone else can see it here, but I live really close to one of these tall buildings, so I saw those lights outside my window, but I didn't see anything else.
Huh.
I really want Janine to come back because I'm really tired of you bitching about her funeral and her wake and stuff. I just want her to come back so you can stop bitching about it. We know you lost a friend. We all lose friends. Something? My cat died 4 years ago. Okay, so I know what you're going through.
No, you don't. First of all, let me say, Janine and I were not friends. She was my sister-in-law, and I hated her as much as I hate you, or even a little more. But I owed her a sorry and a thank you as much as I owe you a sorry and a thank you.
But in your case, you're going to say, Glenn, thank you. You're sorry. You're one sorry person. Thank you for trying.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, Matt, is you can tell him that right before you murder him. So.
Right. So, but the part about that I'm really most upset about with Janine is I wanted to have some last minute communication with her, because when I texted my wife, how is she doing? I fully expected to hear she's recovering, she's going through chemo, things are going to be good. And what I got was she's on life support. We're at the funeral home and we're going to take her off life support today. And I was like, wow, can I go there and say something to her? And she's, she's in a coma. She probably won't hear you and all that. And by the time I got ready to go, she said that she's passed already. So that's it was just a shocker to me. Like, wait a minute. I was expecting to hear she's recovering, and I hear she's gonna die today, and then I hear she's already gone.
Sorry to hear that, man. But I guess she heard you were coming. So
yeah, that could be. That could be. Sick of that fucking guy. We had a rough relationship.
Never good to get from anybody. I understand, man.
Here's the thing, and I've expressed this to people, and people say you were right, and I don't really need to hear I was right. But the tension between Janine and I had a house, and she with her, I was married to her sister, and she rented the apartment upstairs in our house for very cheap, on the cheap, a really nice apartment. I think it was $400 a month. And this is part of the thing where landlords have a very good reason not to rent to single women, because there will be losers who are looking for a sugar mama, guys who would just want to hook up with her because she has an apartment that they can't afford an apartment. They just want to move in with her. And a couple of these loser guys ended up being her boyfriend and wanted to move in. And I said, no, you're not having, I don't care if the apartment's already paid for. And listen, we were losing money on your fucking apartment anyway. But it's not like they don't use utilities. It's not like they can be home in my house all day playing video games or whatever the fuck these losers, low life bums are going to be doing. I just don't want that in my house. And so that was the biggest part of our not getting along, is every boyfriend she had just wanted to use her for an apartment, and I wasn't putting up with it. So, and a lot of people say, "Well, you were right," and I know not that I feel like I was wrong to do that. I feel like my level of anger and the rudeness that I applied to her in stating that. I feel guilty about that. That's all. But yeah.
So I had a cousin who was. This is if I told y'all this before, y'all can just say Ibit, and I'll still say it because the audience hadn't heard it. No, but my cousin was in the hospital with COVID. He was dying. He was on life support, and they said he had like 3 weeks to live or something like that. And we knew it was inevitable. And his son had posted on Facebook a couple of days later a picture with him sitting upright, and it says, "Fuck the doctors. We kicked COVID's ass." And he made, so I got the impression that he was fine, that something kicked in and they found something. And so I called him and I said, "George," I said, "I'm so glad you're getting better." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I probably got 2 weeks left to live." I felt like such a dick. Yeah. He knew. He was like, "No, I'm gone." He goes, I'm going to die here. I'm never leaving this place." He goes, "What made you think I was getting better?" And I told him, I said, "Your son posted these pictures on Facebook with you sitting." He goes, those pictures are like a year old or something. And those pictures are old." He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm dying."
Yeah. Wow. Was that a hard thing for you, or?
It was. He was my favorite cousin.
Wow.
I feel you, man. My uncle who just passed away recently was he was like a dad to me growing up because my dad was an alcoholic, and his thyroid went bad, then his heart gave out, and then once he was better, got out of the hospital, went to work, and then had a heart attack and died. And I only got to see him one time in the hospital because he lives 2 hours away, and I didn't have people to go with me a lot, so I couldn't go. And I was getting ready to go visit him that weekend, and I ended up in the hospital and ended up having a heart attack.
So make this funny. Did you text some other dad how much you love them and thank him for being your daddy? And then they said, "Who the fuck is this?" Like,
no, I ended up getting a bunch of hate mail for not going to the funeral because I was in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow, that doesn't make it funny. I said make it funny. It's okay to lie if you have to, but make it funny.
You sent him a dick pic, didn't you? No.
I accidentally sent my aunt a dick pic when I meant to send her my condolences.
It sounds like, again, like a script for a porn movie. That we really don't need to see that movie. Carl, how's your health? Are you okay? Your foot is okay?
The foot is healing. I stopped the meds on Friday because I was drinking heavily anyway, but it's all good. I think I'm going to be back in the hills.
So you can't use the foot injury. You can't use the foot injury as an excuse for spilling coffee on Hack Oddity's floor.
He gave me a lovely pan to hold, and I had coffee in one hand, and I was feeling the weight, but I moved both hands at the same time, and I don't know why I did that.
You don't have to explain to me. I spill coffee everywhere I go. I'm like Grandpa Alzheimer's Parkinson's coffee holder.
Yeah, I was still drunk and everything else from the night before as well. So it's in my defense, it was addictions that did that.
Did you make passionate sweet love to Hack Oddity down there? Did you?
There's parts of the evenings that we can't remember, so who knows what happened? But we did film some stuff, so not that. Hopefully, I'm not going to find that final cut.
Now, is he in London or is he in Manchester or
he's like
suburb?
He's still in the north, so he's like an hour from here, 90 minutes from here. I know you can't really. I can't really gauge where that is, but he's kind of. I don't know. He's kind of
just pointing that direction so we can get an idea. It's like
it's this way, and I think not too dissimilar from the picture as well. So I think it's still the same direction. I think that's from the south. So I think
I'm curious about him. For people who don't know what we're talking about, I'm not sure if he's still doing a YouTube channel called Another Fat Guy Cooks on YouTube. Andy Baker. Now, he's got a lot of comedian friends. Has he ever been in comedy himself? Has he ever done
comedy? I think he has, but he's just he admits himself he's too lazy. He doesn't want to be doing it. Right. Going to little shows and building it up. But he is very funny, and he knows a lot of comics here as well. So
yeah. I just wondered how he got to be friends with, because he's got some high profile, some high profile friends as comedians. What's high profile? But I'm just curious, like how he got so many friends in comedy, especially in the United States, since he's not in the United States. I mean, I know he has come for a visit, but he seems to have a lot of friends.
I think he was going out to those desert parties in the 2000s. And probably some festivals and stuff as well. Because he knows he knows a few comics, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. Good for him. I mean, he's a very good guy. I remember he fell sucker. One of the guys in the chat room who was just like begging for money, claiming to be dying, and sending me and I know that Hack had sent them some money that day. Paid PayPal or Venmo the guy some money. And I was suspicious of this guy. I think this guy was just like a grifter, like the guy in the boat for the hurricane, just like faking shit, and and asking for money on it. Like I'm dying, please send me money. And a Hack had given him money, so he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He got a nice space, so we're in his studio. It's really nice. A little cold in there, but we're gonna. I'll be over there a little bit more. I'm gonna give him a hand with helping some stuff.
So what do you do with him? Do you just drink? You just go down and you just get you go to pub? I mean, or you just sit around and watch each other?
Friday we just hung out, watched some movies, got high and drunk, and then Saturday we did a lot of. We recorded 2 episodes of Another Fat Guy Cooks. One actually involves beer, so it's Another Fat Guy Drinks, and something with some brisket, but they'll be out soon, so we'll be coming back with that. And we did a little stream on my stuff, but that can never be made public again. I've already looked at a couple of things this morning, and there's some very bad things.
So now it has to be made
bad
public.
Like in reputation ruining, or bad like in quality?
I mean, bad quality for sure, but also some crimes were committed on there, so I can't put most of it out.
I think you're a little hypersensitive to stuff like that, because I remember once you were doing a live stream with with Husky Boyo and Jamie, and you were drunk, and I screen grabbed some of the stuff, and you were like, "Oh, please pull that down," and it wasn't really.
That morning, I'd woken up with no memory, saw it, and that I was still drunk when I said that. No, there's loads of stuff. If you go back to the old stuff, there's me crying on there. There's all kinds of shit going on. It's great. I'm leaving all that up.
But you leave the full episodes up, though, right? You don't pull them down, or you do.
No, all that old stuff is up there. It's all.
Doesn't Twitch pull stuff down automatically after a certain amount of time? I thought they did.
They don't publish anything of mine because I normally break loads of copyright laws. But this one also they didn't publish, and it's probably for reasons that were happening. And this isn't 2 sentences. This was a crime committed on camera,
right?
Not by me.
Yeah. Now, are you? Because Friday I was not here. I was doing something that GD wants me to stop talking about. And he wants to bring the dead back to get me to stop talking about it. So I'll stop talking about why I wasn't here on Friday. But while I was not here on Friday because of this thing that GD wants me to stop talking about, they were discussing ticket prices, and I believe Steven said, no, I could be wrong about this. So, Steven, I apologize if it wasn't you who said this. I believe the conversation said that Taylor Swift tickets were so expensive that it was cheaper to take a jet to London to go and get a hotel room to see her over there.
I said that.
You did.
I said that, yeah.
Okay, close enough. I was one square off. But so I know I think you're planning on going to see Oasis reunion tour.
Yeah.
Ticket prices for that, are they insane? Are they like $1,000?
The standard were like 150, but that it's going to be like 5 headliners. It's going to be like an all-day thing, so it's not just one band.
Right.
It's going to be like 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Bad. 150 is not bad. Listen, we got a Carpenter's tribute band that's getting $360 a fucking ticket.
Yeah, but that was the standard price. But because Ticketmaster did dynamic pricing, as people were getting into these queues and let in, some of them were going up to 600, 800 plus, and then people were putting them on resale for like $5,000. But in theory, they can take those down because they said they're not allowed. But some will get through. I don't know how they can cancel all of that stuff.
Mikey said that for the Jelly Roll thing last week, people were actually selling tickets outside for $35, which, you know, if you
tickets away.
Yeah, if you can do that, then whatever Ticketmaster or whoever these corporations that are scalping like crazy, there's got to be some legal recourse. It can't just
be. They're becoming scalps themselves, aren't they? These companies, so they just
yeah.
It's not good. So normally agents, if it's a big act or something, agents will go and deal with it with the promoter, and then Ticketmaster go, do you want dynamic pricing because it will actually help some people get tickets? And they'll go, yeah, sure, and then go, okay, when it actually happens.
I mean, I don't know how they did that with the Jelly Roll tickets, how they managed to sell them for like $35, but Matt, if you wanted to, could you have said, can you give me let's say the Taylor Swift, can you give me 10 tickets for free now to give away on my show? And then she gives you the 10 tickets, and then you sell them for like $20 each.
Right. Yeah. All right. That's a possibility. But here's the thought that comes to mind now. In the U.S., there has to be an Oasis tribute band that is getting more than $150 for their show. If the Carpenters are getting a tribute band, it's getting $350.
Paying that for a tribute band?
A lot of people
apparently.
It's sold out. The theater sold out on
wild
Saturday
to me.
night.
Yeah, most people aren't charging that. I mean, for arena stuff and bigger acts and all the rest of it, that they can take the piss. Taylor Swift are still going for like 800 here or whatever it is. But I can go and see fairly big bands for like 50, 75.
I'm beginning to wish I did not dislike Billy Ocean music. Otherwise, I think I could pull off a Billy Ocean tribute band. Some comedian said I look like him, and it was another black guy, so I kind of like trust his opinion on that. But if a white guy said I look like Billy Ocean, I'm be like, oh, nah, I don't think so. But it was another brother. So,
I think
I'm looking up.
I think Springsteen is in town this week. I think he's here.
I can pass for Spring. I can do now. Then I can pass for Springsteen. Well, at least I can probably pass for Stevie Van Zandt if I put the headscarf on.
Where are the prices here? I'm trying to look up prices. I'm looking at other bands that are coming to the venue that my wife saw the price range. Here you go. So they start at $69 for a Chicago tribute band. You remember you guys are probably even too young to even know Chicago Transit Authority. Chicago Beginnings is the name of the band. It's a tribute band. They start at $69. They go up to $270 for tickets at this theater. They will sell out.
Oh, that's stupid. You know, they missing. They should charge 25 or 6 to 4. That's what they should charge.
That's right. You're right. They don't get that joke. Why would they get that joke? Yeah,
Springsteen is 87 to 410 through Ticketmaster.
And all of the seating should be general admission. You're sitting cross-legged on the floor.
I think Springsteen is one of these artists who is very conscientious about this, like with Ticketmaster. I think he has tried to do some stuff to try to make it easier on the fans to get tickets at a reasonable price here in the U.S. But I don't know what that entails.
Yeah, that might not include dynamic pricing because, to be fair, a big act like that probably can charge that much for some seats. There's probably some VIP seats and that kind of stuff. Or
So there was a Meatloaf tribute there. The band got almost $40,000 for a Meatloaf tribute band. I don't know what the tickets were selling for, but you got, and my wife was under the impression, like, what if it doesn't sell out? The bands don't care if it sells out. They charge what they charge, and it's on this is different than my level of show business, where if you don't fucking sell out, the guy's always going to try to play with the money at the end. Oh, well, we had a bad night. Can we? They don't do it. There's no compromise. At the end of the night, the check is made out to the amount that we contracted for. If there's 5 people, if the place is sold out, it doesn't matter. So these tribute bands here are just making more than I think the original acts ever did, and I think that's bizarre to see. I'm certain the Carpenters, when they were alive, when she was alive, never got $360 a ticket for. Anyway, So I was just curious. So do you know what the price is for the Oasis stuff? It's 150, or is it? Does it go up to like?
The flat was 150. They probably varied up to like 300-400, similar to that Springsteen thing, I think.
So what do you mean by dynamic pricing for an old boomer like me who's unhip
like
and
when
doesn't?
you order an Uber, the prices will go up depending on demand, right? If it's busy when you order an Uber and there's not many cars, they'll put the prices up to discourage some people getting in. But
That's
the ones
bizarre.
that do
In my day, of course, we had took horse and buggy to the concert. So, but the tickets were just $7.50, and that was a lot. $7.50 to go see Led Zeppelin.
They were a little scuzzy with what they did with this because it said 150, right? You would be in a queue for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was. Then when the website didn't crash and it let you in, it might go, oh yeah, we said 150, but what we really mean, there's two left for 450 each. Did you want those? So people were panicking, going, yes, I'll just spend $1,000. That was scuzzy.
Yeah. So how come some of these bands are able to charge so much? But then, like some of these other bigger bands, like one of my favorites, Slipknot, right? They came to Noblesville, Indiana. It was a decent sized arena show, and their tickets started at $35. And I think their top price was like 600, but that's like front row with like backstage pass.
If it went through something like Ticketmaster, they may well have gone, we're not doing dynamic pricing at all. We're not doing that. And we'll try and set the prices at a fair rate.
They're not fucking any football players. They should fuck football players.
Yeah, because their tickets are like, if their highest tier tickets got you real close to the stage, and then like backstage or meet and greet passes, like, and that's for like Slipknot and like 4 other bands. So it's like 5 hours of music.
But what got you guys talking about this Friday was comedian.
Yeah, we were talking about comedians,
prices,
I think.
Right?
And Taylor Swift,
Al Weird Al Yankovic was getting like, was it 250 a ticket?
Yeah,
I think one of you made a statement, kind of like, and I don't know what the number was. You said, "I would never pay that much for to go to see any comedian."
You could dig Richard Pryor up, and I'd tell you to go fuck yourself. I'm not paying 250.
Now, if you want to
dug him up, that's different.
In fact, Seinfeld came here a few years ago, and I thought, I'm not really a fan, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I might go and see him just because it might be half interesting. And then the prices came out, and I think they were like 200.
Well, this is what has me confused here, because it seems to be a value judgment, music versus comedy. Like, I wouldn't pay that to go see a comedian, but I would pay that to go see a band. And to me, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like, especially at the juncture I am at in life, I value comedy more than I do music. I appreciate music, but I can listen to music anywhere, and I can get the same feeling seeing it live as if I'm listening to the record, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe on a few occasions to see somebody do the song live would be a little more uplifting. But comedy and the value of a good laugh, especially in the way the world is today, I value a good laugh more than singing or dancing.
I don't go and watch much comedy, to be honest. But every now and then, if there's someone that is interesting, I'll go and pay it. But I'll pay like 50, 60, 25, depending on who it is, obviously.
I agree, Matt. I like laughter in general, man. Like, that's part of the reason I got into it. A big reason I got into it was like, growing up, obviously life sucked for me, both medically and in life, and there was just laughter. Laughter was always the easiest thing to find to distract you from all the bullshit, so, and being able to do that for people was like a huge win.
I got a bone to pick with you that has nothing to do with ticket prices. Not a bone. It's just something that I was thinking about. Because watching this show, I think Ian asked if you had grandparents still alive. Now, I know that you're in your early 30s, and you said you had grandparents that were my age. And I'm doing the math, and I'm thinking everybody in your generation is having kids at 15. Everybody in your family is. Because how could you have grandparents my age if you're in your early 30s? The only way is if both generations.
My mom had me. No, my grandmother had her kids in her 20s and 30s. My mom was 16. She had me.
Math doesn't work out how they, because you mentioned several people that were like 63 to 67. I was like, how could this
68, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be a little off on the years. Hold on. I'm trying to, hold on. 'Cause my dad was born in 69.
69.
Okay.
So he would be 55 now.
55. My grandmother is, I'm pretty sure she's in her 70s. Now I'm thinking about it. My grandfather was born in 43.
Yeah, you were saying in his 60s. That's where it didn't add up. It's like, what the fuck?
My grandpa was born in 43, but my grandmother's younger than him. And then my mom's mom is obviously a little young, but my mom was really young when she had me. So
yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
two out of the three of my grandparents are still in their 60s.
Wow. Amazing. So I could be I'm old enough to be your grandfather, is what you're saying.
Ah, I told you that from the get-go. You and GD both are old enough to be my granddaddy.
It doesn't seem possible. Like, I have a grandson who was in his 20s, just turning, he's like 21. And
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of all of the grandchildren, though.
Let me just say that again. I think I'm wrong. 25. I think he's 25 now. Yeah, 25. Wow. Fuck. But yeah, so it's just, I can't imagine having a grandson at my age in his mid-30s or early 30s to mid-30s. It's just like the math doesn't. And we're talking about kiddies having babies, teenagers.
Yeah,
having
you're an old man. You shouldn't, that would be normal, wouldn't it, to have a grandson in the 30s or?
Yeah, well, yeah. I am.
I mean, honestly,
right? I'm an old man.
No, my situation is definitely weird because all of my friends that are my age, all of their parents are your age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know lots of
really
people with
young
kids
parents.
in their 30s, my age, who have kids in their 30s, but not grandchildren in their 30s. That's a little disturbing. Listen,
yeah, no, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay, grandchildren. I did the math wrong there.
I'm the oldest by 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years.
All right. Well, that was bothering me all weekend long. Now, yeah, I was on the road when I was trying to start. I don't know if you could tell this. I was on the road when I was trying to start the program on Friday morning on my phone, and I've never used the app on the phone before, and it was very confusing to me. So I just I think my dopey face popped on.
It did.
Yeah. But I don't know how to do that. I guess I should have.
Here's the funny thing: the viewer counter said we had 100 people ready to watch, and as soon as your face hit, it dropped down to 2.
Right.
And you didn't come back. I don't know what happened.
It's understandable. You would run away too. Like, wait, this isn't for me. This is like some weird porn movie I'm about to watch.
I do have some showbiz news. We have
I thought you were going to say I do have some weird porn.
You didn't have to say that.
It's just a Monday. It's just a Monday.
What just happened to your microphone? But okay, I'm going to play showbiz. Carl, would you like to stick around for showbiz? Sure. Stick around for showbiz.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
Showbiz. Wow, it's not even gonna. Oh, it did.
Hey everybody, it's showbiz. Maybe if I load this up,
I don't see any showbiz. I see Stephen the sitcom Ortiz, and I see. That's all I see. Is he in showbiz?
There we go. Showbiz, everybody.
What is that? Like an angel toilet or something?
No, this is how you make the weather. You go in your bathroom and you have your laptop. This is how hurricanes are made in bathrooms now.
Wow. So. Did you hear that weathermen, weather women are getting death threats over the hurricane?
Yes. Yeah. And people, rescuers and FEMA people on the ground.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not surprising though, is it?
Not surprising, but it's still fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me that they wait until a hurricane. If you're going to threaten a weatherman, when my gig gets rained out, is a good time to threaten them.
It's like trying to rescue a dog and the dog bites you when he's drowning and you try to rescue the dog and the dog bites you. That's what it's like. They're acting like dogs.
I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. On the screen, ladies and gentlemen, right now it says GTA Shakespeare coming to streaming.
Yes, so
And
back
Ron
in
will tell us what
2019, someone made using GTA, they made a Shakespeare movie, and apparently it is coming to streaming now. You'll be able to watch it at some point. It didn't give a release date, but it's on its way.
And GTA is Grand Theft Auto.
What is that thing, though? Is that like, it looks like a skeleton or something with a big erection? I can't see. My eyes.
That's an alien. I think it looks like an alien with a gun.
Yeah, that's an alien with a gun. So I haven't seen this. It's out there online. You could watch it. But yeah, it's coming to streaming if you're
So just for my psychiatrist, if he's taking notes, I mistook an alien with a gun for a ghost with an erection. Just to mark that down. If I'm changing my medication.
Ron, now I'll make sure I got this right. They have what Grand Theft Auto is the world in which they live, but they're using Shakespearean dialogue. Is that what I'm to understand?
It's GTA, and they've taken GTA and made a Shakespearean movie out of it.
Shakespearean in style, or are they like, let's say, took Hamlet and gave him Grand Theft
Now
Auto?
ask too many questions.
Yeah,
I just want to know what I'm watching. I just want to know what I'm not watching. I just want to know what I'm not watching. So
Vine should know that it is time to say goodbye to Govs.